welcome to the Degenerate Gamblers. I'm looking a little weird, like I'm came out behind the curtain. Better than coming out of the closet. But I'm back here in New York City with my man Steve Valente. What a weekend. Oh my God, what a weekend.
Howie, fuck the Badgers. They made my Saturday was soaring, and then they clipped my wings right off.
So I had two parlays right now, and I'll tell you right off the bat. I had Cincinnati moneyline, Tennessee, Louisville, St. Joseph's, Houston, Vanderbilt, Colorado, Auburn, VCU, Vermont, Florida, Duke. $29 brought back $6,300 if Wisconsin can win the game.
Just win the game.
Just win the game.
That's all they had to do is win.
They were up, I believe they were up 12 at the half.
They're up 17 with 7 minutes left to go.
I mean, I would say the only other meltdown I've seen worse was Purdue on Sunday.
I mean, they didn't come out of the locker room, though, at halftime.
Indiana went on a 30-5 run. Why is this shit only happening in the Big Ten?
Right? Only the Big Ten. I don't get it.
These teams
Nebraska,
can't hold on to
Nebraska. Who was Nebraska playing the other night when they literally didn't show up in the second half?
No.
We were talking about it on the Discord. I got to look. It was awful.
Oh, just brutal. Saturday, I mean, ended up being a good day. I ended up banking, ended up making money, came back strong.
I bailed myself out with a 4-team parlay that we talked about them on Friday. University of California, San Diego bailed me out with a nice cover city at the end.
I think I was 0 for 3 or 0 for 4 by noon. And then hit 8 games in a row. Wound up hitting 8. I was down 10 units, ended up plus 23. Opposite Sunday. Sunday came out like gangbusters. 2-2, cranking. Yeah. And then dropped the next 4 games in a row, and that's gambling, people. That's what it's all about. You could have
Howie, the guys on the Discord have been asking about my unit play. I just I don't want to give out a 5 unit not hit. I'd rather you hit a 2 unit, you hit a 2 unit. I'm happy for you. I'll give you a 1 unit. I just to me, it's like you drop 5 units and we lose. You know, I feel horrible after that.
Yeah, you got to do. Look, man, everyone's different. That's the bottom line.
Yeah,
you want to go crazy. But speaking of going crazy, we're back in it. Last night, let's talk about yesterday. Yes, last night was a pretty good night. And if you're listening here, if you like what you hear, hit the like button. Follow Howie Dewey on YouTube. Go to Whop.com and join the Degenerate Gamblers, $24.99 a month. You cannot beat this. Last night, we started off right off the bat. I had a 2-unit parlay with your North Carolina Tar Heels.
First half.
Won the game fairly easy against Florida State. And I took North Florida plus 10.5. They almost won the game. I like North Florida.
Yeah.
Nebraska, 9 o'clock. Put a little bit on them straight, 1.5. They lost by 2. 2 or 3. They lost by 3. Could not put the ball in the ocean. Low scoring, just shitty game to watch.
Horrible game to watch.
I just don't. I don't know. I don't see how Nebraska gets in the tourney. A lot of people think they will. I just don't think it's one of those teams that gets in. They're not that good.
Well, I don't and they everything's quad 1. Everything's quad 1, quad 2 wins right now. And tell me, the Big Ten isn't the Big Ten of old. Yes, they're competing here, but is the Big Ten really that much better than the ACC? And the ACC is only looking at 3 teams possibly getting in right now? I don't know. I don't buy it.
I got in a little bit of argument with one of my buddies the other day, and all he's doing is, but they only have 1 quad 1. They're explain what the fuck is a quad? Stop with this quad 1 quad.
Stop.
All that is something that was made up by a couple reporters that don't know their dicks from their asses about college hoops, and it's used way too much.
It's for these assholes on this stupid committee that barely know jack shit about basketball. I was listening to a Patino interview last week, and he was talking about get a Roy Williams, get a Coach K, get some of these retired guys to get on the committee. When you got to speak about North Carolina or Duke, they Jim Boeheim's of the world. Like, these are the guys that know college basketball. Not some schmuck that got 15 different degrees.
I'm tired of hearing about quad one. All due respect to Auburn as the number one overall seed. I think they have a legit chance to win a national championship. I don't think they will. I watched them against a very average Georgia team just give up layup after open three. After they don't play to win the national championship, you got to lock in and have a team that plays D. They don't have
dogs. Got to have some dogs. I'll tell you what, St. John's has got some dogs.
They got it. St. John's has it. I would love to see Rick Pitino, Bruce Pearl matchup and just see him get put to the back of the classroom like Danny Hurley did Saturday. I mean, that was just being taught, the game of basketball. That's what Ricky P did. Last night, we had North Carolina, Florida didn't hit Nebraska, but then bam, drilled Houston with a 5-unit max. I maxed out Houston.
Maxed out. I think you gave it a max on the Houston play.
And then I tossed in a parlay with Houston and Colorado, plus 13.5. Colorado covered easily.
Yeah. They actually, I had them first half under and second half under that Kansas game. It just went over. It was 66.5. They scored 69 in the first half, but the second half went under by almost 10 points. So, split.
Last night ended up being a nice little 8-unit night. It ended up okay. We get into tonight. Tonight, there's so many games next week.
So many games.
Guys, if you're listening, don't mess around, man. Join us. Join the Discord. Go to Whop.com. Join the Degenerate Gamblers. Follow Howie Dewey on YouTube. You got to join because that's where we're making these plays. And there's tons of live betting now. I try to hedge as much as possible. Didn't get a chance to Saturday because Wisconsin was a noon game. If it had been a 4 o'clock game, I'd be a wealthy guy today. Anyways, tonight we get right into it. And there's a weird game that I like right off the bat. 7 o'clock. I have Appalachian State from Boone, North Carolina, going to my old stomping grounds, Hanner Fieldhouse, Georgia Southern. Georgia Southern's a plus 2.5 point dog tonight. I think they get it done at home. They win this game outright. I think they beat Appalachian State. Hanner Fieldhouse is basically, it's a nicer Glens Falls High School. It is.
Yeah.
It is. I used to play there all the time, and it was like this place. My school, Cortland State, was 10 times nicer gym.
Yeah.
So tonight, App State has to go in there. It's a rivalry. There'll be some people there. And they're not bad. Both these teams are about the same. App State has a few more wins.
App State's 2-8 in their last 10, Howie, against the number.
What are they?
2-8 in their last 10 against the number.
App State?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't like them in this spot tonight. I like Georgia Southern at home. And then we get a game that I absolutely love at 7 o'clock, and I think you probably love it too. Baylor goes to Cincinnati. Cincinnati is 4-0-1 against the spread their last 5 games. Baylor's 1-4. Cincinnati has to win this game to stay alive for a hope for a bid.
Yep.
I think they win this game. Lions minus 2.5. I see them winning by 5, but I'm going to use that.
I can get you 1.5 right now, Howie. I got 1.5 just about an hour ago. I'm just trying to see what I got it on.
Maybe it's on DraftKings.
Yeah, it might have been FanDuel. It was FanDuel, but now it's actually back up to 2.5. FanDuel this morning was 1.5, literally an hour ago.
I'll use them at moneyline and some parlays. I have a parlay I love with Cincinnati moneyline, Georgia at home against Florida. I'm going to boost them from 7.5 up to 10.5. And I'm going to take Cincinnati moneyline, Georgia plus 10.5. I love that. You can get that in the
Georgia at home, getting double digits.
Georgia played Auburn very tough Saturday. Lost by I think 12.
Yeah, Auburn pulled away late. It was
Very
it was
late. Yeah,
basically like a
it was a
6-point game the
6-point
whole
game with
game.
like a minute and a half to go.
Yeah.
So I like them at home in this spot against Florida. It'll be packed. If they can not turn the ball over, if they can hit a couple shots, keep it close early, they'll cover, I think, probably 7 to 10 points. So that's what I'm counting on. So I like that Cincinnati, Georgia.
Yeah, to get back to your Cincinnati play, I like Cincinnati. You're right on. You knew where my head was at. Baylor's 1-11 on the road against the number this year. Cincinnati's covered their last 5. I'm all over the Bearcats. I'll lay the 2.5 with the Bearcats at home.
I like it too. I like it. Another game tonight. You have Virginia Commonwealth has to go across town to the rival Richmond, who they beat by 41 2 weeks ago. Richmond, I don't know how Richmond beat Fordham. They've won 2 games out of their last 5, and Richmond's one of the worst teams I've seen this year. They're 2-3 against the spread their last 5 games. Virginia Commonwealth is a covering machine. They're 4-0-1. They're laying 15, on the road, you could say, a mile away from the campus.
Right. You're basically, yep. Just a different
man. I think they probably win by 20. I'm not that worried about Richmond's bad. They've already lost by 41. VCU is just rolling right now. Beat George Mason on Saturday. That was, that was another one. That game was like tied at the half. And I think George Mason didn't score for like 10 minutes.
VCU beat him up good. Beat him by 16. VCU's, won 5 or 6 in a row, 8-2 in their last 10 against the number. Richmond stinks, like you said. They stink.
I do like Virginia Commonwealth to wrap that up tonight. Stay in first place in Atlantic 10. Get the first round bye in the tourney. I think even if they lose, they're probably still in this tournament with 5 overall losses this year. This team's good. If you haven't seen VCU, they have some athletes. They got a kid that just puts his elbows on the rim. Good players. Again, we talked about Florida going into Georgia minus 7.5. I like the dogs at home. They're 10-6 against the spread at home. I like them. I think they, I'll toss a little bit. I'll sprinkle a little bit on that money line tonight for an upset. Then we have a weird one here. And this one worries me. Duke is playing at Miami. They're minus 22.5.
Mm-hmm.
I am a little afraid of this game. I just think it's a weird spot. Duke's not going to be all jacked up going down to Miami to play on a Tuesday night.
After just absolutely annihilating Illinois at the Garden on Saturday. Was that Saturday?
I got back here and I'm like, I should walk up to that game right now. And I didn't have it in me.
110 points in a 40-minute game.
That was just abuse. Illinois, not playing well. Just not playing well. Not playing D. It looked like they gave up early in that game. But I'm not touching this game. If I was going to, I'd probably put a little on the dog. Miami, 22.5 is a ton of points. We're getting into that. Duke may rest some guys.
Mm-hmm.
Duke had walk-ons hitting threes Saturday. So I probably will stay away.
Listen, that's a ton of points. I mean, Miami covered against Louisville a couple weeks ago, getting 17.5. They covered against Pitt, getting 11.5. 22.5, Howie? Is that the number we're getting? It's a lot of points. At home dog, getting over 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
You might want to just think about if you're playing a parlay, throw it in there. Like you said, early week game with Duke, coming off a huge win, probably not going to have their foot too far on the pedal.
I mean, I think they pull it up. I could see them winning by 17, 18 points.
Sure.
You got Iowa State going to Oklahoma State tonight. They look like they got one. Look, they played Houston without their top 2 guards Saturday. They hung. Iowa
100%.
State's a good team.
Yeah, 100%.
It looks like one of the guards is back tonight. They go to Oklahoma State, who I think is one of the top 3 worst teams in the Big 12, and they're laying 10. Um, I'd like to think they'd cover this 10 points. I know it's on the road at Oklahoma State, but they're bad.
Yeah. No, Oklahoma State they're bad. There's no other way to put it. They're bad. And when they play a good team, they get drubbed. Like they get beat over the head.
And they're playing a good team tonight.
Yep.
Yeah, so Iowa State should roll. Another game similar. It looks like a twin copycat game. You got Tennessee going to LSU. Tennessee minus 10.5. LSU actually has weirdly been hanging with teams lately.
Yeah. Yeah. We mentioned it Friday. They're staying in games, which, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, you would have said, bet everything you got against LSU every single week, but they're competing.
They'll have a tough time. They'll have to stay in this early. I can't see them coming from behind if they get down early to Tennessee. Tennessee's Tennessee. You know what they're going to do. They have good guard play. They rebound, and they play D. They play D. I don't see LSU scoring over 50 points in this game.
No, I don't either. So, so the 10.5 doesn't look like that crazy of a number if you're going to hold LSU to that many points. And LSU actually has that, they lost by 14 to Florida, lost by 12 to Arkansas. So, you're giving me a top 5 team in Tennessee here. I know it's on the road in Baton Rouge, but 10.5 doesn't really scare me.
No, I think they should. And the next game I have circled. This is a circle game. South Carolina, who plays great at home, has major problems on the road. They have to go to Missouri tonight. Plus 13.5 at Missouri. Missouri coming off of that just loss on Saturday. Now they're home.
Mm-hmm.
This could be rough for South Carolina tonight.
Like 20 plus.
I mean, I think this could be over quickly. There's one more game I see it happening.
Howie, let's not forget, though. I mean, Mizzou, they took Alabama behind the woodshed at home. They scored 110 points in regulation on Alabama a week ago in their place. So, yeah, they might beat the bags off of this South Carolina team.
I think so. I mean, Missouri's no joke. They went into Florida and smashed Florida at Florida. Missouri's good.
Yeah.
South Carolina has trouble on the road. They could get just absolutely just smacked tonight. Another game that I like, just like this game, we got to go back to the team that gave me nightmares for the last 2 nights, and it's Wisconsin. Has a home game tonight against Washington. Now, I look for them to get up early, quickly, and I don't think they're going to blow a lead tonight because I think this coach has had them running stairs for the last 2 days. The turnovers they made Saturday, just 7th, 8th grade stuff.
Yeah.
Wisconsin's a good team. They're laying 15.5 at home. I see them winning this game by 25 to 30.
Greg Gard just looks like a guy you don't want to piss off because he's just that like miserable curmudgeon looking like head coach that's just you piss him off, just get on the line and go. Get on the line and go. And he just keeps blowing that whistle till you're throwing up in the garbage can about 10 feet away.
Man, he was hot on set, and I don't blame him. I don't blame him.
They blew it. They totally let Oregon back in the game, and then Auburn bullied them.
Yeah, that was just.
Or did I say Auburn, Oregon? You know what I meant.
That was real. So I think you take a look at teams like Missouri and Wisconsin coming off losses. I think they turn around at home tonight, and you see some blowouts.
Yeah,
these are times when there's a timeout when they're up by 20, and the coach says, "Remember what you did Saturday." And, these kids don't want to run again. So I think they take care of business. You got Louisville laying 10.5 at Virginia Tech. If I was going to bet it, I'd probably take the home dog there, Virginia Tech. Don't love that game.
I'll be honest, Howie. I'm on Louisville.
Are you?
They're 11-1 away against the number. I know it's a lot of points, but Vatek has looked just abysmal this year in the ACC. Bottom of the barrel team, 5-11-1 home this year. So I like the Cards. I think they're playing good. They got the Hepburn kid, Charlie Hepburn from Wisconsin, playing great basketball
Yeah,
right
I mean,
now.
yeah. I was a little worried Saturday they were going to blow that lead.
Yeah.
I was like, nah, please no. No. But they held on.
Yeah, I just this I don't know. This Vatek team just they're not very good. No.
I'll tell you a game I like too. You got Mississippi State +8 going to Alabama. This is out of the two Mississippi teams. I actually like Mississippi State better than Mississippi. They go to Bama tonight +8. If I was to bet this game, I'd probably take Mississippi State. I'd take the 8 points.
I'm against you again, Howie. I'm going Alabama at home, Mississippi State at home. Good. On the road, yes, they beat up on Ole Miss by 10, but they lost to Oklahoma on Saturday. They lost to Oklahoma. I think Bama's kind of looking to get right. They showed us on Saturday against Kentucky. So I think Bama probably beats them up pretty good in this one. And Mississippi State's 3-7 in their last 10 against the number 2. So I'm actually going to roll Tide in that one, Howie.
I got you. I can totally understand that. Makes sense. I think Mississippi State just plays people tough, and I think that could be a close game. I don't know.
It's probably what college basketball has been this year. Something you can't truly figure out. Like really get your hands around it and figure it out, because it's just been tough. The teams that you think are going to show up on a day-to-day basis don't show up. A&M's done it to me a couple times this year. Obviously, Wisconsin did it to me on Saturday. I'm trying to think of a couple other teams that I've really kind of. Clemson's looked good. They've been playing well. So let's see what Bama can do. See if they can.
Another weird game I like tonight. Iowa's +10 at Illinois. I'll take Iowa all day +10. I have no faith in Illinois. I think these kids, there's something wrong there. They give up if they get down.
Yeah. I think they're dealing with a couple injuries too, or some kids were sick last weekend, but I don't care. I mean, that's a lot of points. Iowa actually has, I don't know, neither of these teams can cover. It's a stay away game for me. That's a lot of points. That's a lot of points. I agree. It's going to be closer than that 10.5 points.
Here's what I love. Texas Christian -6.5 going to West Virginia. West Virginia has to win and make a statement here. It's at home. It'll be packed. TCU is not that good. They're not playing great right now. I like West Virginia at home to cover that number.
Both teams of late are not covering, but TCU away is 3-8 this season against the number. And like you said, West Virginia has to win this game. Win this game. And they
late night game tonight. University of New Mexico, who is just a home monster, has to go to San Diego State. And here's the bottom line. They are +1.5 at San Diego State because everyone is not sure if Magoon Gwath is playing. Magoon Gwath from San Diego State is a monster. If he plays, if he's healthy, San Diego State wins this game. That's what we're waiting for. And that'll probably be a late game decision.
Mm-hmm.
So that's tonight's slate. It's loaded.
I got one at 7. We skipped over. Davidson at home, laying 1.5 against St. Louis right here, Howie. St. Louis is not covering against anybody on the road this year. They're 3-9, 2-6 as a dog. I like Davidson at home. I'll lay the 1.5, probably a unit or two on that one. We'll put it on the Discord, but I like Davidson at home in a conference game against St. Louis at 7.
All right. I may tag you on that because I love those games.
Yeah.
I love Southern Conference games.
Just kind of jumped out to me. Davidson's been a team that I they've been doing well. I don't know. We'll see.
Hey, that's a lot of New York history at that college, man. A lot of it. Uh, we get into Wednesday, and I'm going to tell you right off the bat, Wednesday's a weird night. We don't have lines yet, but I see some spots where you can make some money Wednesday. One right off the bat, Georgetown plays at UConn. Georgetown's been playing pretty good ball. They're right on the edge of possibly getting in this tourney if they can run it and win a couple games in the Big East tournament. UConn, if there's ever a team that's falling apart and not doing anything for their coach, it's Connecticut. I look for Georgetown to probably be getting between 8 and 11 points on the road. I'll take them all day in Stores, Connecticut tomorrow.
UConn Danny Hurley said it himself. He came out and said, I can't coach these kids as hard as I coached the last two teams. Basically just flat out saying his team's soft. They're soft.
Oh, he basically, he's calling his team a bunch of pussies on a daily basis.
Yep, pussies.
And I think they're breaking down.
Yeah, I agree.
I think they're breaking down.
Get to the next one, Howie.
Wow, what a game this is going to be.
Get to it.
I know exactly what you're looking at.
Yep.
And we are headed to Maryland. Because we got our boy Tommy Izzo going to Maryland. I see them as maybe Steve, a +4, +5 point dog, maybe?
The way the lines have been going with the Big Ten, home and away, yeah, you gotta figure that's probably what the line's gonna be.
And Maryland down low has one of the best front courts in the whole country. But he's, Izzo's got these guys scouted, and Michigan State has great guards. This could be a 1-point game.
No, this is going to be a close game. Queen he's legit 5-star kid from Maryland, down low. He plays that big position very, very well. Where you see more of these stretch 4 and 5s trying to shoot the 3. He stays down low. He bangs. He's good. But man, Tom Izzo, he's in his 30th season right now, Howie. Season 30. Imagine him taking this team on another magical run in March Madness in a couple weeks.
I would love to see he and Patino meet in the Final Four.
How awesome would that be? I got goosebumps just thinking about something.
That would be,
unbelievable.
You see Izzo and Rick Pitino, and then you'd get him a little momentum in college sports. Like, we may have to bring some old guys back. I would love to see it. That's going to be a game. Another big Atlantic 10 game is you got these two teams fighting for a spot. Dayton goes to Rhode Island. Dayton probably will be a slight favorite. I like Rhode Island home tonight because I think the crowd comes out. Dayton is a team. I mean, they're not dominant.
No.
I thought Posh Alexander would be a huge addition right now. He's been injured. He's been hurt. He's playing hurt.
1-4 in their last 5 against the number, Howie, is Dayton.
They've covered the last 5?
No,
they haven't.
Other way.
Yeah, I like Rhode Island.
Yeah, I'm with you on it. I'm with you on that. Dayton's going the other way when you're getting into point spreads here, and that's the only thing that matters to us degenerate gamblers. Howie's point spreads.
Yeah, and speaking of point spreads, look at the next game. You got St. Bonaventure, another Atlantic 10 game, going to St. Joseph's in Philadelphia. St. Joseph's has covered their last 5 in a row against the line. They're at home playing St. Bonnie's. I mean, St. Bonnie's is in trouble here. St. Joe's is tough at home, and they covered the last 5 games in a row. You got to love St. Joseph's in this spot.
You got Ole Miss at 7
Oh.
at Auburn. Is this a game that Ole Miss goes into Auburn and beats them up? I mean, not beats them up, beats them outright. They'll probably be getting close to a touchdown in this one, right?
Yeah. And I'll tell you, Mississippi is a team that, in my opinion, if they lose their next 4 out of 5 games, which they have a very good chance of losing their next 4 out of 5 games if you look at their schedule, I don't like these guys to get in the tournament.
No.
I mean, you look at Mississippi. They lost to Purdue this year. They lost to Memphis this year. They beat Grambling by 2. This team, if they lose their next 4 out of 5, they should be left out. I'm sorry. I said it.
They got 4. I think they got 4 remaining here in February. No. Yeah, they got 4 remaining. So you've got Auburn at Auburn.
Yeah.
You got Oklahoma at home. You got Tennessee at home, and then you got Florida on the road. I mean, that's a tough slate. You got 3 top 5 teams out of
Yeah.
4 games.
They could lose their next 4 out of 5, and then the committee's got to make decisions there.
Yep.
Um,
They lost their last 2, so
they're not playing well.
No.
Yeah, Vanderbilt plays at Texas A&M tomorrow night. Texas A&M's got to get healthy.
They're not the team I thought they were 2 weeks ago. That's for damn sure.
Well, they're beat up. They got some guards that are injured. Vandy, of course, is on the road. They don't play great on the road. So for Texas A&M, this should be a good, solid win for them.
Yeah, my only thing is, and this is like another just team you can't figure out. They got beat up the last 2 games. It wasn't, they weren't very close. Tennessee, it was a 2.5 point spread, wound up losing by 8. Got lost by 14 or 16. To Mississippi State. So, yeah, they got to get healthy.
And another game that another team I compare to, like Mississippi, Texas has to play at Arkansas tomorrow. Texas is another team. If they lose their next 3 out of 4, 4 out of 5, I don't see how you can get them in either.
Mm-hmm.
They play Arkansas. Arkansas's playing good ball.
Good ball. They're both sitting at 16 and 11. I don't know. Yeah, last 10, Texas has not looked good against the number. 4 and 6 overall in their last 10, just straight up.
Yeah, I mean, they lose their next 3 out of 4, 4 out of 5. I don't think they're in.
No.
Arkansas is looking good. Another team that I think Lenardi has in right now, and they play Kentucky tomorrow night, is Oklahoma. Oklahoma loses their next 3 out of 4. I don't think they're in either.
No, they're look. I see. I get it. It's the SEC, and they're trying to give these guys much more of a boost just because of the schedule they're going through. But yeah, Oklahoma's just been another team that's been up and down all year, and they haven't looked good at all lately.
I want to say this right now. There's a game tomorrow night that scares the shit out of me. It really does. St. John's plays at Butler tomorrow. And with all the hoopla surrounding St. John's and how well they've been playing and at the Garden, if there was ever a letdown game, it's tomorrow night.
This could be it. A little Thad Matta-led Butler team.
I mean, look, if Butler's going to be up for this game. Butler has 100%. A decent squad. They're not out of this thing yet. If they play a perfect game, they don't turn the ball over. They handle St. John's pressure. St. John's doesn't shoot well. This could be a very close game.
9:00 game 2 for the Johnnies. Yeah.
Rick Pitino's not sleeping because he knows this is one of those games where they could be had.
Yeah, 100%.
I'll give you 2 more, and then I have a game which I'm not giving out on this, but it's a game. It's one of my favorite games of the whole year tomorrow night. And I'll be dropping a very large, not an account dump.
I already know where you're going.
I don't know. This is a weird one.
I already know. Like weird. Okay, go ahead.
It's an ACC game.
Oh, all right. Never mind. I was looking at Utah just firing their head coach. 15 and 12 fire their head coach now, and then you got to go to Arizona.
They could have beaten Central Florida Saturday, and they actually hadn't been playing bad the last 5 games.
Yeah. So what are you doing firing your coach now? Like, why wouldn't you wait till the end of the season? Arizona needs to win their next couple games. They're still going to get in the tournament, but they need to finish the season on a hot streak. So that was a game I thought you were going to jump in. What was the ACC matchup?
It's Boston College at Stanford.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a weird little game. And there's a team in that game that I'll be putting some hard-earned cash on. What about? But we got BYU playing well tomorrow at Arizona State. I like Arizona State at home. Bobby Hurley's gonna get fired. He knows that. I think he's history.
Yeah.
But they're weird. They played well Saturday. They play at home. They shoot the ball well. I could see BYU losing this game.
BYU's been another one of those funny teams that's kind of been up and down this year. They have one in cover.
Tomorrow, man. You got SMU, Southern Methodist, which they have not really. They got 20 wins. They haven't beaten anyone really good all year.
No.
They play at California tomorrow night. California's 4-1 against the spread last 5.
No quad one wins, Howie. No quad one wins.
No quad ones. Hughes with threes. Yeah, quad one. So, Drake's not a quad one team, and I'd put Drake up against 90% of quad one teams to beat him in an NCAA tournament game.
100%. 100%.
Yep. Thursday night, you got Rutgers at Michigan. I can't bet Rutgers. I just can't.
I had him Sunday, Howie.
You called it. Yeah, perfect.
I had him.
They're one of those teams that just have been banging me all season.
Yep.
But University of Vermont, who I've been crushing lately, they play at New Jersey Institute of Technology. Maybe I'll go across the river and see that game.
That's another team you've been mentioning this year, though, Howie.
Oh, and I'm taking NGIT at home because UVM is far away from Burlington, Vermont. They got to play at New Jersey. I may go over there, maybe with some apples to have to throw on the court if things get really bad.
It should be a closer game than the spread will probably dictate.
That's right. That's exactly what I'm looking at, Steve. I'm all about value. I'm not about loyalty. There's no loyalty here.
Fuck loyalty.
No.
There's no loyalty in the America East.
No, the only loyalty I have is my good first cousin, Ben Franklin, and that is it, man. And if New Jersey Institute of Technology can put together a solid game and keep it within the line, I'll be happy. But that's what I'm leaning for Thursday. But look, if you like what you hear, hit the like button, follow How We Do on YouTube. Join our Degenerate Gamblers Discord, man. We have Steve and I are on there all the time. Steve's giving out golf. You got some golf picks today?
Howie, I want you guys to look at the Masters. We're a couple, what do we have, about a month and a half away from the Masters. I got some good value in Colin Morikawa, plus 1,800 to win the whole thing. He finished third last year. He's a great ball striker. That's a course where you got to be a good ball striker to compete. He's going to be in it. Throw a little money on Colin Morikawa today.
Morikawa? I thought you said Kyle Hiroshima. I was like, whoa.
Colin Morikawa, plus
Morikawa, man. Dude, I'm in it. I'm all about,
Take a little value. It's some pretty good value on the board.
I don't like playing golf because I can't do it seriously. The last time I did it, I threw all my golf clubs off of the bridge in the Savannah River.
Listen, anybody that tells you they play golf for anything other than having some drinks,
dude, and
then float out your ass. You're lying.
It's like I say, man. It's like golf. It's the same dudes. It's like, it's like performing oral sex on your wife. The same guys that say they're great at it. Yeah. I'm a scratch golfer.
You don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, I'm a really good carpet. I'm amazing. No, you're not. You're lying.
Liar.
Golf is an Illuminati sport. There's like 6 guys in the world that really know how to play it.
Yep.
I don't care who you are. You can give me lessons. No, swing it like a heavy bag. Keep your left arm straight. Your right nut's got to be a little lower than your left. There's 5,000 tips.
5,000. Everybody's different.
I want to just punch. I had a lessons one time, and I literally almost got in a fight with the instructor. I'm like, you're telling me the total opposite of my buddy who played at Furman. And he's like, well, he's not an instructor. And I don't trust any of you people.
Fuck you, right.
I don't trust any of them.
Howie, other than the games we're going to have, basketball games all weekend long, we got the Fountain of Youth in horse racing, another sport we're going to be diving right into. Howie, before you know it, that Kentucky Derby is going to be here. This is a pre-race for the Kentucky Derby. We're going to have some picks. We'll give you some exotics on Friday for Saturday's Fountain of Youth race down in Gulfstream.
Gulfstream. And I'm in horse racing is something that I've been heavily into since about the age of 3. I think I placed my first bet at Saratoga. Like I couldn't get my head above to give the mutual, but I tossed
Yep.
up a couple bucks and on my first show bet,
Hooked ever since.
and I've been chasing that $2 for the past 50 years, man. Yeah. So yeah, Fountain of Youth. We have a ton of 3-year-old prep races. The Bluegrass, the Arkansas Derby, the Florida Derby, all these races leading up to see who gets in the field of for the Kentucky Derby this year, and we'll be hitting all these races. Horse racing, something that we're going to definitely start upgrading to steroid level.
There's some grade 1s and grade 2s at Santa Anita on Saturday too, Howie.
Okay, I'm pumped for that, man. I am pumped for that. Yeah, Saturday's going to be a maniacal day for myself with college hoops.
Yep.
I'm going to meet Mehul here in a little bit to go over NBA so he can just start putting out NBA plays.
Give me some graphs. Give me some graphs, Mehul.
Yeah.
Break it down for me, baby.
That's what he does, man. He's the human algorithm. Not just because his name's Mehul, because, a lot of those guys are just good with math.
They're good at that.
He is. I'll tell you that. He's way smarter than I am.
Way smarter.
So I'm pumped. We have a lot of stuff coming up here with horse racing. I got somebody coming on to do some hockey and baseball. I'm back in New York City meeting, but we will be back live at you Friday. Friday, we may even want to go live. We may go live.
Be a nice
Friday.
live day.
You know what? Have some people hit us up. I think we'll do.
Okay.
But look, like I say, if you like what you heard, hit the like button. Follow Howie Dewey on YouTube. Join us at Whop.com. The Degenerate Gamblers, $24.99 a month. You can't beat it. And all we do is put out plays all day long. So hey, let's bank.
Let's go. Have a night.
All right, brother.
For Tuesday.
Let's do it.
Okay.